So I'm here on the floor with the CEO of Realbotix, Andrew Kiguel. Andrew, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Ben.
So we're going to see some really exciting tech, but first Andrew's going to tell us a little bit about Realbotix, the problems it solves, and really how this solution is at the cutting edge of AI-powered real experiences. Andrew, tell us a little bit about Realbotix.
Yeah, so Realbotix is an early stage AI and robotics company. We're publicly traded, and our goal is to make robots that feel and look human. So whereas a lot of our peers are making robots that look very robotic and are sort of meant to replace physical human labor, our robots have a different purpose. They're meant to look very human, more friendly, and they're here to sort of provide personal interaction, social occasions. You can picture them working in places like a senior's home or for marketing purposes. So we have a very different use case, and we believe we have the most realistic robots on the planet.
So I love those. I mean, talk us through some of those use cases in a bit more depth. We've got everything from companionship to kind of building brand experiences, being avatars for brands. So talk us through those.
Yeah, so look, robotics is a very new industry. It's not like we're setting up a donut shop and we know exactly who our client base is going to be. But the areas that we have been selling to are, for example, marketing. People will buy these robots, program them to talk about their product or their brand. Because we can customize the AI, you could have the robot actually talking about your product, and as you can see around you, a robot attracts a pretty big crowd. So imagine the robot having your brand t-shirt on it, and you can go up and speak to your product. So it elevates to your brand. So that's one use case. Think about it at a hotel, acting as a concierge. What's the best restaurant close by? Can you book us a reservation? Other use cases, really like healthcare is a place we're targeting. There's a huge loneliness epidemic. You know, adolescents and senior citizens suffer from loneliness. So can you imagine our robot maybe at a senior's residence, going from room to room, has a memory, so it remembers who it's speaking to. Hi Ben, how are you? How are you feeling today? Is there anything you want to communicate back to the nurse or the doctor? Tell me about your family. It's there to sort of provide companionship. So our robots really specialize and excel in social interaction, and that's also where our AI focuses. We're not building AI to graph this on the x-axis and this on the y-axis. Our AI is really meant to be a partner, a friend. Sort of what we grew up seeing in Star Wars and all these places, right? Like we've become so, robots are meant to be our friends, and we want them to look friendly.
Love that, love the applications in healthcare, companionship for seniors and adolescents as well. You know, you mentioned the loneliness epidemic that really this kind of application can help to solve for. And what I'm really interested in is we're seeing a lot about agentic AI, agents AIs. Yep. That's not necessarily a very physical human experience, whereas this is a human experience, right?
Yeah, I mean, imagine walking into a theme park or a museum and being greeted by a robot that can tell you which direction to go. It can give you, directions where I would like to go and see this part of the museum. Let me explain to you how to get there. So we can program them. That's, again, the special thing about our company is lifelike robots with programmable AI.
And I think that's core to the innovation here, is that combination of that physical experience with that AI-driven power.
Exactly.
So it is a very popular booth. We were really pleased to get some time with you. There's lots of folks who've come to see this.
Yeah. So you're going to be talking to Matt soon, who's sort of our operations person. He'll give you some demonstrations. He's a big key designer, but can talk to you about what makes our robots unique. And so in the robotics space, one of the hardest things to do is to create facial expressions. Yeah. And what you're going to see in a little bit is how our robots have micro cameras embedded in the eyes that can make eye contact with you and follow you around. And we're going to show you what that looks like in the computer so you can see what's going on in the robot's eyes. And so we've actually built our technology to recognize not just your face, but you're eating an apple and it can say to you, oh, how's the apple you're eating? So these are all types of innovations that we're creating to make them feel more lifelike, more interpersonal, as opposed to the type of robot where you're like, go iron my shoe, or go pick up my shoes or go do this. We're not making them to replace physical human labor. They're here to be companions, to help elevate social events. We make the joke that you could take one of our robots as your date to a wedding. That would be a big hit probably. So, but yes, that's kind of our goal. So I think we're really excelling in that area, and we're excited as to where the company's going to go. We're still early stages. Everything is manufactured in the USA. and we make everything in Las Vegas. So I think it's a very cool company that we're working on.
So made here in the USA, in Nevada, in Las Vegas.
That's correct.
And it's brilliant. You talked about machine recognition, the cameras sort of being able to see things. A really fascinating use of kind of AI all the way through the experience, a real AI powered.
Well, we're one of the only companies that is focused on the hardware and the software, and we're taking a very different approach. So whereas, again, our AI peers and our robotic peers are looking to replace physical and intellectual tasks, we're trying to create things that you can use in social settings.
Yeah, they're doing sort of discrete, very specific use cases.
Yeah.
Here you're solving for a social interaction.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, we have the most realistic robots I think around, but also what makes our robots unique is they're all modular, so we can take the same robotic engine and replace the face within 10 seconds and you have a whole different character.
Yep.
That's patented and unique to us. We have the most realistic skin technology. That's also unique to us.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of positive R&D that's gone into this, so we're excited for all the different use cases.
Yeah, I mean that modularity of design, both in the appearance, but also the programmability of the robots themselves.
That's right.
So very exciting tech, which I think we're going to see a demo of, and we're going to talk to your COO a little bit more about.
He's going to walk you through the 3 models that we have on display here, and you'll get to see a little bit more of what these robots can do.
So Matthew McMullen, COO, Chief Operating Officer of Realbotix. Thank you, Andrew. He's heading off to a very, very popular booth here, lots of folks around.
Yes.
Talk us through a little bit more on the tech, and you're going to show us some of the models now.
Yeah, so this here is Aria.
Hey,
She's
Aria.
kind of our flagship robot platform. She has all the features. She has a motorized base, full body, torso movement, hands, arms, neck, head, the whole thing. And we really kind of built her to have all the things that we potentially could offer in a product.
Yeah.
And she can do all kinds of animations. She can wave. You can talk to her. She runs on our AI.
Yep.
She will also be able to run on third-party AIs
Yep.
when we release the software that goes along with her.
Yep.
Right here behind you, this is a modular robot. Her name is Melody.
Yep.
And we built her to
Hello,
be,
Melody.
She's shy. We built her to be more modular for travel, for easy shipment, for example, for a thing like this.
Yep.
If you wanted to have a robot representing your brand, you could have her wearing a t-shirt with the logo on it.
Yep.
And she breaks down into components that can easily be shipped,
Yep.
easy to transport, and there's different versions. We have a standing version, a seated version, and a desktop version.
So love that modularity of design and very kind of realistic features as well as movement. Right, we're seeing some of this movement at the moment. It's a very real physical experience.
Yeah, that's really the whole point, and I think one of the things that makes us stand out is that we're really pushing that envelope of realism.
Yeah.
I believe that AI and humans can interact more realistically if the robot is more realistic.
Yeah.
A lot of other companies are going down the other route, the C3PO route.
Yeah.
But we really want to make the robots be inviting to interact with and feel and act like humans.
Love that. So we heard from your CEO about these were programmable, and you're telling us as well that there's going to be potentially third-party models in the future.
Correct.
So this is almost like a kind of new platform almost in robotics we're kind of seeing. Or is that too much to say?
Yeah. So we're not just hardware.
Yeah.
We're not just software. We're doing both.
Yeah.
But we also recognize that there's a lot of developers out there who would probably love to get their hands on a simple platform for robotics to use for their own AI. So that's a super important feature that we're pushing.
I love that. I mean, we talk about convergence and converged. It's key to our proposition and approach, and I think this is one of the moments where we're seeing that conversion of hardware, of software, of experience.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I do think it's a very exciting time we're in. Obviously, in the last few years, with the advent of LLMs and generative AI, it's very
all coming together.
Yeah.
So I think you're gonna show us under the hood a little bit now. Is that right?
Under the hood.
Yeah.
What do you want to see?
We're gonna look at under.
Oh well, over here we can kind of have a look. Let me put this down.
So let's go and look at some of the underlying tech here.
So
very exciting.
This actually is our vision system, and you can see here that this robot is actually able to see faces. She will be able to recognize expressions.
So this is what we would think of as like classical machine learning.
Yeah. So these feeds can then go into whatever vision models you may have at your disposal.
Very
and
cool.
She can recognize objects, she can recognize individuals.
And we're almost seeing what the robot is seeing, what the machine model is seeing now. So just talk us through these.
Yeah, so basically these are just different feeds going to from her eye into the system. So this one here is obviously recognizing all the people in the scene, and then it's choosing who's it going to look at, like who's most forefront, who should I stare. She's obviously staring at me. I don't know why, but then we have
fascinated by
third,
it.
Yeah, we've got a third one that would actually be used to define a little bit more detail about the face that she's looking at. For example, he looks sad, he looks happy, maybe, he looks tired, and then that can go into the AI, and she can say, you look tired, maybe you should take a nap.
So you're doing emotional recognition here, which is allowing you to kind of see how people are feeling, what they're showing, and then build that into the response from
exactly. So the goal,
itself.
this is our prototype, and the goal this year will be integrating this with these full platform robots, so that we're able to take not only the audio input from talking to her, but also the visual input, which brings another layer of the robot and the AI's ability to interact with a human being.
That's fascinating. So we've seen some of this technology used when we're looking at creative. We're trying to see how people might react to content they're seeing, but you're taking this forward and building this experience out.
Yes.
So I think we're gonna wrap it up there. But this has been absolutely fascinating. Do you want to give us a quick view of the roadmap of the future, if you can, before we sign off?
So as I was mentioning, this year's super exciting because we're going to be integrating several different systems into one unified system. So the vision will be integrated with our new AI, and we have a new controller for the actual robotic hardware. So that the head and the body will work together more fluidly. And thirdly, we'll be introducing our standalone AI system, as well as the ability for developers to plug into our systems with their own LLM models.
Thank you, Matthew, and thank you for spending some time with us here at the Realbotix booth. This has been fascinating.
My
and
pleasure.
A great experience.
Anytime.